What's going on, everyone? John and Audrey here, back again with another episode of the Real Talk Podcast, episode 84. And it's been a while, but we're back at it, and we're going to talk all about, Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man trilogy and some more things. It's just some films that we've seen and just a lot of movie talk. There's some movie news I wanted to talk to Audrey about, and we're going to actually catch up too because it's been a while for me and Audrey. So, Audrey, how's your kids? I just can't imagine.
So since then, I've actually had triplets.
She popped
Just
out
kidding.
three kids.
No,
Imagine.
I've been good, but yeah, it's been a while, and I was thinking how fitting of us that we would come back like when Spider Man's gonna come out because
Yeah.
obviously that's like one of your faves. So it's pretty good that we decided to get back on the show during this time. It's been a minute.
Yeah. And not just Spider-Man, there's like Matrix is coming
Yeah.
out. There's a lot of award movies coming out too. Like I've been hearing good things about Nightmare Alley. Our boy Guillermo back at it again, which at first I didn't know it was a remake or like a reboot or whatever. But I'm still excited nonetheless. I'm always gonna be excited for whatever he does. So
Yeah, I don't know if I wonder if it's gonna be a direct remake. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the original either. That's on Criterion, I believe.
yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I think I definitely want to watch the original before watching the new one, just so I can have something
To
to
like
go on.
compare, contrast.
Yeah, but we are definitely gonna have some really good releases coming up, and then it's gonna kind of slow down in January, I think. Wait, is
Yeah.
January when Scream comes out? It is,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's what I say. Well, like kind of, because there's that, and also Morbius. I'm actually kind of excited for Morbius. Our
Yeah,
boy Jared Leto.
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have some really good stuff. But obviously Spider-Man right now is like everything is like the only thing that people are talking about. Um, but yeah, I think I'm excited, and we decided to go ahead and rewatch the Sam Raimi ones, which I mean it was good for me because I haven't seen those in a hot minute, so
Yeah.
it was good.
So yeah, guys, stay tuned for that. And yeah, we have Rob here saying, "Hey, John and Audrey, what's up, Rob? Glad you can make it again, man."
Thanks for
And
tuning in.
Top Gun in February. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff coming out. Like in January, I think it's gonna slow down, but I feel like they're also going to try to catch up because a lot of movies got pushed back. You know, for like this year, a lot of them actually like a handful, I should say, got pushed back even more like till next year too. So like Top Gun
Yeah.
is one of them. Um, so yeah,
For me, Top Gun feels like it already came out like three times, and
yeah, like I almost forgot about it. Like,
yeah.
but
It almost kind of like, I mean, to be honest, it wasn't something that I was like super stoked on just because I'm not like a huge fan. But I'm still gonna watch it because Ben is a huge fan. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I feel like they've just kept pushing it back so much that it's kind of lost the sense
the
of like
momentum.
the momentum. Yeah, exactly. But whatever,
Yeah,
it's
I'm not really a
understandable.
big fan of the first one. I think I've seen it like once in like fifth grade or something, like a long time ago. Like I
Yeah.
hardly remember it, but I do have it.
I
I'm
mean,
planning to rewatch
people
it.
love it, dude. Like, there's like fans. It has hardcore fans out there.
Yeah.
Um, and once Ben told me that like all those scenes of them being like in the planes and all that, like they're legit or something like
Yeah.
that. I forgot. I don't know. He told me like they're not like fake or whatever. Like they actually had to learn how to like do stuff. It's like that's pretty impressive. But yeah,
Knowing Tom Cruise, like
I know, right?
he he was recently like he's doing like practicing like hanging out of a plane, like this sort of it's not like a big plane. It's like one of those one pilot planes. I guess like it
Mm-hmm.
came out. He's like practicing a stunt because you know how he is. He wants to go to space and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah, he's super like adventurous, like stuntman type of dude. So yeah, so yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna be super excited for that one, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna do good. So
one thing for sure is I definitely want to check it out in like IMAX or Dolby because all those plane sequences like they'll probably look fucking sick, like and sound dope. So
dude, I still haven't seen a movie in like IMAX. I don't think I have. I mean,
like
maybe.
ever?
No, like I don't remember
Nah.
seeing any. No, I swear to God, like I think the closest I ever got to seeing something was probably when I was in California, like in one of those theaters. But I don't remember what movie it was. It might have been like Interstellar, maybe. I don't remember though. So obviously it didn't make that much of an impact.
Yeah. I
Cause
actually
like,
remember watching that one and Dunkirk in IMAX.
yeah, I don't
I don't know
know.
why
Like,
those.
I don't know why I haven't gone, but whatever. I mean, I think it'd still be cool to experience something like that. But
Yeah,
the tickets are like super expensive, huh? They're like $20, if not
yeah,
more.
but now with AMC A list or with like any of those programs, like I got my tickets for like yeah like those they're like $22 now, but like if you have the A list, like you can just that counts, so you can watch IMAX or something with for that price of like $23 a month.
Oh wow, that's
So
really cool that they don't like upcharge you for that. That's
no,
pretty
I know
impressive.
they. I think when Movie Pass was still around, I think that's what they did. They upcharged you, but
Yeah.
yeah, with the A list, you can just watch whatever.
Yeah, dude, like that's pretty impressive because I mean, for the price of how much you pay in a month, that's like one ticket for that.
Yeah,
So it's pretty good.
like if
Nice.
you go at least like twice, you'll be getting your money like worth.
Yeah, exactly. We got
We
Eddie
have
S in
Eddie
the
is.
chat.
What's up, Eddie? Finally live stream when I'm not at work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
man.
decided to do it a little bit later today. Usually
And
we do
then
it like at noon.
and
Tom is
Tom is
actually
actually
flying the jets
flying
in the movie.
jets. What?
Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he gets paid. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, that's why he's Tom Cruise, as interesting as a character as he is.
I remember when he had that whole phase jumping on the couch on like Oprah and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude, he's
It's
he's
the whole
a
Scientology thing.
he's an interesting character for sure. And like even when you learn about the Scientology part of it, because recently I was listening to Leah Remini. She talks about it all the time.
Oh yeah,
And the way she refers to him is so funny because she's just so casual about it. She's like, "Yeah, Tom," like they're best friends. But
yeah.
apparently, she's like, "No, he's like untouchable in that whole like Scientology church." So, yeah, freaking Tom, man.
Didn't she come out like against that whole thing though?
Yeah, yeah, she got out of it. She has like
Oh
a whole series. I think it's on Hulu or Netflix, one of those where she just like talks about all this like stuff. So, yeah. If you're
yeah,
into stuff like that, it's kind of interesting to know about it. But yeah, I know you like your conspiracy stuff.
yeah. That's what I was like. I remember something like that. I feel like I don't know, dude. Like something's going up with that too. Like Scientology. Someone needs to check up on that place.
Yeah, but speaking of Tom, the one movie that I kind of like to watch during this time is Eyes Wide Shut with him and oh
Nicole
god,
Kidman,
Nicole Kidman. Fuck, I wasn't blanking.
our boy
Um,
Kubrick.
yeah, you haven't seen that one yet though, huh?
Nah, but I heard is it a Christmas movie?
It takes time in like during Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That's why. But I mean, no, it's not really like a. It's not gonna put you like in the holiday spirit. Maybe, who
Yeah,
knows?
it's not gonna make you festive.
Yeah, but speaking of Christmas, have you been watching anything festive lately?
Um, I feel like I have. Well, not like traditionally, but like Hawkeye is kind of set in that whole
Mm.
Christmas time, so I've been watching that. I'm waiting to watch the Peanuts Christmas, Peanuts Christmas. I've been enjoying those these past few holidays. Um, and I feel like I did watch something else like Christmas related.
You haven't started Harry Potter yet?
No, dude. Oh,
Which,
well, planes, trains, and automobiles, but that's more Thanksgiving.
yeah, yeah. Um, I or Ben told me that the Harry Potter cast is gonna have like a get together, like a reunion
Oh
that's
yeah,
gonna premiere on HBO. I think on HBO. Yeah.
yeah,
So that would be cool to see. I enjoyed that. It's kind of like the Game of Thrones one that came out. So I'm pretty stoked on that just because it's been a minute since those movies came out.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I haven't really been seeing anything super festive, which is kind of sad. But I don't know. I've just been super busy, honestly. Like, I really haven't had a lot of time to watch anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you said you have been watching Hawkeye?
Yeah, Hawkeye, and I feel like I have been like watching other stuff, but it's because I probably been doing like more like festive stuff. Like we went to the city of Montclair's like holly jolly type of thing where like Santa comes. We took my girl's nephews and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
it was cool. And they had like fake snow
That's cool. Because
and the hot chocolate.
you guys ain't getting real snow anytime
Nah,
soon.
man. But it's been so cold. Like it's been like cold now, and I'm like, yes.
Really?
Like fine, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause I actually did the podcast with our buddies over there at Criterion Cult Podcast with Jordan
Yeah.
and Mondo, and they were both like wearing like hoodies, I
Like,
think. And I asked them if it was cold, and they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, over here it's like 70, but in my apartment it feels like it's 50."
yeah.
But outside it hasn't been super cold yet, which I think I'm kind of like bummed out about. But that's pretty cool. Like Cali's already getting like super chilly. It's nice.
Yeah. Like we sleep with two blankets and we turn off the fan sometimes cuz like I kind of like it cool, you know, but then at night if we have the window open and the fan, it's like super cold.
Dude,
And you fight
especially
with
if
the
you're
for the
like,
blankets.
yeah, especially if you're with someone, it's just like twice the body heat, so it just gets hot.
Yeah, so it's like you want to balance it. Like it's cold, so you want to be
Yeah.
warm, but then like you like the
Yeah.
body heat, it gets to you.
Yeah, I know. Plus, it's like me and Ben, and then plus the cats. They sleep on top of us.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, dude, it's hot, and then I can't move. So typically, I'll like stick a foot out, and that'll balance me out.
Yeah, the foot or the arm out, and then but if you stick it too far out, you think the cuckoo is gonna get you. So it's like
Exactly.
it has
It's
to
a
be on
perfect
the bed.
science. Exactly. It has to be at a perfect science of how you put your foot out. But yeah. We got, let me see. Robert. Tom is not paid a salary. He takes a percentage of the box office receipts.
I think that's pretty smart.
I know.
What's up, you two? What's up, Amari? How's it going, man? We're both doing pretty well. How are you?
Thanks for tuning in, you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
I was on it honestly kind of like sweating a little bit. I was like, what if no one shows up and everyone just forgot about the real talk because we haven't been on in like so long.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
the other time
appreciate you guys.
I came live. It did pretty well too. So
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw you had a pretty good turnout, so that's good. Everyone really likes your like unboxings and showing your DVD collection. So, it's good because you have a
and
massive
remember, guys,
collection.
I'm still having some giveaways. So go check out that video if you guys are interested in winning some digital download codes. And Aaron Johnson, hello. What's up,
How you
man?
doing?
Over here in Texas is a high of
Oh
90 this
shit!
week. Eddie, I
Oof.
thought you were in California, man. Did he tell us he was in Texas before?
I don't remember. But I'm in Texas, and it's not gonna hit 90, but I'm telling you, it's still like 70. So it's kind of whack.
Like it's still kind of like September.
Yeah, basically September. Yeah, because even in October, I think like 2 years ago, it was already snowing during like Halloween, and this
Yeah.
time there was like nothing. It was like hot as fuck. Which is probably why I wasn't in the spirit this year. I really have not been in the spirit at all, and it makes
Yeah.
me kind of sad. But whatever, that it happens
Yeah.
when you got a lot of other stuff going on, you know.
It's life.
Yeah. I'm great watching Netflix and watching this. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you
Nah,
for
pick
tuning
one,
in.
Amari. No, it's pretty much.
He
turns
has
us
us in
off.
like the tiny little square, like the little box.
Oh, the like picture in picture.
Yeah.
I'll be in Cali next September for D23 Expo. Nice, man. Awesome.
Super
I
cool.
know that you've been wanting to go for a while.
Yep.
Now I'm from South Texas.
Nice.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, it's probably super warm over there. But just before I forget to also mention, I did a guest spot on the Criterion Cult podcast. I'm not exactly sure when it's coming out, but when it does, I'll go ahead and promote it on our Instagram page so you guys can tune in. Because yeah, we had a lot of fun. Pretty soon, John will show up at some point. They did tell me that they want to have you on there, John. So I told him that you're a bit of a diva though, and that like you
Yeah.
kind of like have to like they have to
I
make
expect
sure.
a salary.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna show up for nothing. You're not gonna wake up for anything,
Yeah.
below that. But yeah, so it was really fun. I had a good time. But like I said, I will promote it once they give me like the official banner. And hopefully you guys can check it out and show them some support.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys are gonna be talking about Boulevard Nights and
And Boys in the
Boys
Hood.
in the Hood. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
gonna be cool. I'm interested. Highly
yeah.
anticipated.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much because obviously I want people to tune in and you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good time because Boys in the Hood is a movie from like our childhood and
Yeah.
probably even like a little bit before that. But yeah, it was definitely like nostalgic for me. And also, like I said, I brought Boulevard Nights to the podcast, so that's going to be an interesting showdown. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Which I
make
haven't
sure
seen
to
that one. And I think that's why Jordan, I guess, he was
he
telling me
hates you.
something. I
Just
think that
kidding.
yeah, that one time. But I do want to check it out because like I feel like on that type of I guess movies like that, I think you put it over like boys not,
Blood in,
isn't
blood
like Blood
out.
in Blood Out and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
definitely gotta
yeah.
check it out.
So you, like I said, you'll have to tune in just to figure out my reasons why. And yeah, definitely watch it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, shout out again to those guys. I mean, we had Jordan here on the podcast before, and he's also been on the channel before when I was doing the Real Talk episodes on the Real Talk.
Yeah,
It's kind of confusing, but yeah, he's a pretty cool cat.
yeah,
I forgot
for
I
sure.
actually met him before that. We saw each other at I think we were talking online through our channels, and then we saw each other. I think at the Quiet Place premiere, the first one. We had like a screening together or something.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
I was trying to remember how you guys met. I figured it was through the channel, but I wasn't exactly like sure like how it happened. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a small world, especially since you guys both live in Cali. So
yeah. And I miss
it's
his
pretty cool.
reviews. I don't know if you ever seen like his older reviews where he had like skits in the beginning or
Yeah,
at
dude,
the end.
he was when he had, was it Room 666?
Yeah, Room 666.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He's really funny. Him and Mondo. I really I was telling them, I don't know if you have Spotify, but if you do, they do like a year in rewind for you to see what you've been listening to, like as far as
Oh yeah.
bands and all that. And for podcast, I was like, dude, you guys came out on top. On top of listening to
Damn.
my true crime shows. I was like, so you guys should be proud.
Yeah.
And they were super stoked on that because yeah, that's like the only way that I think you can listen to them. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, besides like Apple Music, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're not like where we do
The
visual or
video.
lives. Yeah, they're more just like audio. So definitely check them out, guys, if you haven't.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out. He said I can't. I can't pick both.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
because
from
I told
watching
him yeah.
Netflix.
And he said, and John, if we can meet up in Cali when I'm there, let me know. Yeah, man, just hit me up, bro. That'll be awesome, man. That'd be
Yep.
cool. I'm always down to meet people in this community. That's always awesome. I've had a lot of good friends from this community.
You should do
Um,
what did they call it? A meetup.
yeah, like YouTubers meetup. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us over here.
I know. Oh, believe me, I know.
And
I'm
then
pretty
we'll
sure
do
like
an
most of them.
event, rent out like a hotel thing, and then like we'll take tips. I'm always trying to get money now. I don't
I
know why.
know, dude. Jeez. But hopefully, whenever I make my way over there, that'd be dope. To see John in person because I
Yeah.
haven't. When was the last time I was over there? Do you remember? Was it like 2 years
Um,
ago?
Probably.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw you the last time I was there, and it was when we did the one in person, where we did the live in person.
Yeah, we did it. We did a podcast or a live or whatever. It was like we were both there.
But I think it's been
Yeah, it was
like
like two
2 years,
years. Yeah,
over
it
two
wasn't
years.
last year
No,
for sure.
it was before I was even like with Ben, so I'm pretty sure it was like almost 3 years.
Yeah,
Which is crazy because, I mean, ever since I can remember, I've been going to Cali at least once a year, if not living over there.
yeah.
So this
We
is the longest
saw.
I've
We
gone.
also didn't. We also see. That's when we went to go to the ArcLight. Remember? We saw that one
Yeah, that's
movie
when we
with
went to
Kristen
go see
Dunst.
Woodchuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Kristen Dunst, she's actually
Ooh.
one of the main actresses in the movies we're going to talk about today.
Oh yeah, and real quick, I just seen her. I actually that's what I was doing earlier when we were texting.
Uh
I was
huh.
watching The Power of the Dog, which again, Jordan, he's actually kind of talking about it, and
Oh
um,
yeah, is it a Netflix original?
I don't know if it's a Netflix original, but it's like distributed by them for sure.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Because I could have sworn it is on Netflix, though, right?
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I saw.
But yeah, I just finished watching that, and Kristen Dunst was in it. I was gonna say Kristen Stewart. Kristen Dunst is in it. Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, which I didn't really know. I think I heard about him and Kristen Dunst dating, but I didn't fully realize it until like I
What
seen the
the?
pictures.
They are dating?
Yeah, they're dating.
What the?
That's cool, huh? So they were
That's
both in this movie.
that's interesting. I can kind of see it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's
I feel
crazy.
like Jesse Plemons is a pretty cool cat. Like I love his performances, but like there's like more to him that we know, you know?
Like you think he's like actually really sophisticated underneath his goofy persona?
Yeah. Either that or he's just like a bad boy. Like he doesn't give a fuck. Like, you know? I feel like Kristen Dunst would like something someone like that, you know?
Someone that I mean, yeah. I think I know what you're trying to say, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't seen any like interviews with him, but now I kind of
Yeah.
want to just to get a feel more of who he is or how he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to check out that movie because I like you said, I saw Jordan's post, so I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Did you finish it or did you just like start it?
No, yeah, I finished it. It was pretty good. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. I don't know. I was expecting to love it because I have been hearing a lot of good things about it. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I think I'll probably put it in my top 10.
Of the year.
Pretty good. Yeah, of the
Wow.
year. And I've been trying to
Interesting.
watch like a lot of those because I've
Oscar.
been missing a lot of them. Yeah, like Oscar contenders, like um, Last Night in Soho. I haven't seen that. The French Dispatch.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix's new movie. Come on, come on. I haven't seen that. Like so.
Dude, I missed a shit ton of movies. I don't
I
know
haven't seen
how.
Dune.
You haven't seen
I
Dune?
haven't seen Dune.
What? I thought you had.
Nah, and it's coming. I came back on IMAX this week, and I'm trying to go watch it in IMAX. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow or something.
Dude, oh my god. Well, now I don't feel so bad. But yeah, I haven't seen French Dispatch and I didn't see Lamb, which was a bummer cuz I was super excited for that one.
You
But
haven't
it
seen
just
Lamb?
I haven't seen Lamb. Haven't seen it. It just kind of like I don't know what happened, but it just came and went like super fast. But yeah, I didn't get to watch that one in theaters. So that's a
Yeah.
bummer. Um I watched Spencer. I didn't watch I did watch Last Night in Soho. Actually, I did. Which
Oh, really?
watching that movie, I came to the realization that I don't like that actress.
Yeah, you've been like not complaining, but you've been like criticizing like
Yeah.
Anya
No,
Taylor
no, no,
Joy.
not her. The other one.
Oh, Mackenzie Davis.
Yes.
I think her name is. She was actually in
I
The
actually
Power of
like.
Dog.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
She's like, no, I don't know if I want to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can
No, I'm
take her.
sorry. Thomason McKenzie.
Yeah. I can take her in small doses. Like, I enjoyed her in JoJo. I didn't have a problem with her. I thought she was cool. But in
Yeah.
Old, she came out in Old, and I was just kind of like,
Well, that
meh.
movie.
Yeah,
Overall.
but even then, I was just kind of like, she wasn't like adding anything to it at all for me personally. And then I saw
Yeah.
her in Last Night in Soho, and I was like, okay, I think I'm not a fan. I think I don't like her that much.
What about in Leave No Trace? Was that just like a Ben Foster thing for you?
Yes, he carried that movie
Yeah,
for
I think
me.
so.
He carried that movie for sure. But yeah, those were the movies that I missed. And did you watch Spencer?
No, I didn't get to see that one. That's another one I've been wanting to watch too. Just because of Kristen Stewart, I've been hearing a lot of good things. Like
People swear.
yeah, like she's the front runner of not front runner of like best leading actress, but like at least a nomination. So I want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Ben are still. Well, Ben is. I'm not convinced that Pig is still going to win Movie of the Year. I wish Pig would win Movie of the Year,
Yeah,
but I told him I'm like it's just not. It's not gonna happen.
it's not in the cards. It's not in the
Yeah.
universe.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But it is a great movie.
But that's low key. Like if you look at your personal top 10 list, or even like one that's like generalized with the community or something, a lot of those movies don't get nominated. You know what I'm
Never.
saying?
Yeah. That's why I was like, it's not gonna happen. It's kind of shitty that that's the way it is because it is a great movie. and I can't think of many people that watched it, you know, aside
Yeah.
from like me and you and like the people that are like super into movies, like some of our friends here. But like the general audience, like my coworkers were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
You're
I
like,
didn't
huh?
even, yeah, they're like, I didn't even hear about that movie. And I'm like, yes, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so I do need to catch up on my movies. I still haven't even seen Minari, which I was just thinking about recently. I was like, dude, I can't
Oh,
believe I haven't even seen Minari. Like I've been
yeah.
wanting to watch that one.
You got it,
But
dude.
I know. But speaking of Netflix, are you at all interested in watching Cowboy Bebop?
I've seen the first two episodes of the anime, and I want to revisit those and like watch the whole series before I watch this one. But I do, I do want to check it out, because I really like John Cho, and then the
Mhm.
show overall has been getting like good, well, like the anime at least
Yeah.
is like up there. Like people swear, like swear by it. So I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, cool. Like I want to check it out. It sounds interesting. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I recently watched. And yeah, I enjoyed it surprisingly because I wasn't. I took it. I'm just not an anime person, so
Yeah,
even with that, the anime, I was just kind of like not interested at all. But now I'm going back and rewatching it because I saw the Netflix one, so I was like, okay, now I can go back and revisit the animated one, and I know more about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I am more invested in it and more interested in it. But yeah, I enjoyed the show. It was cool. What else did I watch on Netflix? I feel like I watched something else. Oh, I watched Encanto. Did you watch Encanto at all?
Nah, that's another one we've been wanting to watch. Encanto.
Super good, dude. I
Yeah,
loved
I
it.
heard a lot of good things about it, and like just like I saw in the trailer, so just that alone, and like the poster before that, I was like, all right, I'm in. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Way more than I thought I was cuz I wasn't expecting too much from it,
yeah,
but I really did enjoy it. However, it has I think he wrote music for it or he was involved in some way, shape or form. Lin Manuel
Manuel
some
Miranda.
yes. And I don't know why people don't like him. Do you like him?
Speaking of him, and Netflix, um, this movie beat out Pig for me for my favorite film of the year, and it's called Tick Tick Boom, which he directed with Andrew Garfield.
Wow,
Um,
that beat Pig?
yeah, well, it's I think because it's like hit me personally, and like obviously like I think I would put Pig above it, like filmmaking wise, but still, like it just
Wow.
hit me there. So, yeah, I really like him. I saw In the Heights earlier this year. I know he had a lot to do with it, and also Moana, he had a lot to do with the
Yeah.
music there too. So,
Yeah. Um Tick Tick Boom, Ben showed me a small clip of it because I had no idea what it was. And I
yeah,
was like, that looks interesting, but I haven't seen it. But that's crazy that you say that it's like high up there. I've been hearing really good things about it too, but
yeah,
it's just because it's like super, like, it's like a musical, right? Basically.
yeah. That's the thing, and I'm like, it kind of surprised me too because I don't really like we're not in the musical type of camp.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's more of the line of like La La Land, where it is
Hmm.
musical, but there's more like just like of a film underneath that. Um,
And you
but
really
yeah,
liked La La Land, so.
yeah, I really like La La Land. So it's I
Well,
guess a certain type of musical that I like.
that's super interesting. I'm gonna have to definitely watch it
Yeah,
at some point and put all my reservations aside of me just not liking musicals like that.
yeah, I dude. All I'm gonna say is that you're gonna find it relatable too, because it's just kind of like about him. He's the guy. He plays the guy who wrote the musical Rent. So he
Mm-hmm.
plays. It's kind of like a biopic or whatever. So his life is really interesting, but so like it's kind of like if you're an artist, you'll appreciate it. But also he's dealing with a lot of stuff of like, man, I'm gonna be 30 and like all the pressures of that. So I was like, fuck, like I literally
Yeah.
just turned 29. So it's
Yeah.
like I related to a lot of those things. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
get you. So it has a lot of things that you related to, and that's probably what made you enjoy it so much, you
yeah,
know? Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to check it out now that you mention it.
definitely recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, we also have another musical coming out, which is West Side Story. I don't know if you have any interest in that.
I guess I do now because it's been getting like so much great like reviews, like oh my god. But at the same time, it's like, well, it's Steven Spielberg. Obviously he's gonna do a great movie now. But other than that, like before that, the previews like didn't do anything. The trailers, I'm just like, I don't,
Isn't
I'm not
that
interested.
funny? How Steven Spielberg, like you're just kind of like he's so good that you're just like, you know what? You're not even interested in seeing anything because you're like, that's gonna be good,
Yeah,
obviously. So you're just kind of not like, it kind of takes away like the like being surprised if you're gonna like if it's gonna be a good film or if it's gonna be well made, I guess.
yeah,
I mean, he could have a flop, but who knows?
yeah. How about you? Are you interested or not?
Nah, dude, I'm not even. I haven't even seen the first one, and I'm just kind of like I said,
Yeah, me
when
either.
like I struggle with musicals. The only time I've actually enjoyed musicals is when I just watch them, and I actually do enjoy enjoying them. But like, it takes a minute for me to come around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, probably I won't be in a hurry to watch it.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's gonna get nominated and all this stuff. And like I've always loved watching all the like best picture nominations, even like for something like best actress and like all the Oscar stuff. Like I love watching it. So I think I'm probably gonna come around to it.
Yeah. What about House of Gucci? Do you think that one's gonna be super Oscar? I think it
Um
is.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but like more like acting and like,
Yeah.
those kind of, I didn't I heard the movie's not too good, like it's more boring than anything. Um
I
but I
mean,
still want to check it out.
it's got a heavy runtime. It's 2 hours and
Yeah.
40 minutes, something like that, almost 3 hours. But I heard Lady Gaga carries that movie.
Yeah.
So if anything, she'll probably get nominated.
Yeah, again, see that's like another reason like I want to check her out and cuz she's probably going to get nominated too, so like just all the awards movies like I want to check out, but
It's
like
been
I
doing
was
really
hyped
well.
about it. Like
Yeah.
for like the trailer actually got me interested, but then like I heard but again, maybe I'll like it. I'll go into it and like it, so
Well, every time, because I've been working it, and every time I go in, there's like a banging soundtrack. So I'm like, damn, I kind of want to watch it just because of the
yeah.
soundtrack. But that's it. Other than that, I really don't have that much interest in it. But
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see. You want to go and
Raymond
read it?
Davis.
You want to go and read it?
Controversial opinion, all the live action Spidey films are from bad. Okay,
Far
are
from
far from
bad.
bad. Raimi films were classics. Amazing Spider-Man is a flawed but solid movie. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, while having a lot of flaws, still has a real bright spots. And the MCU movies are pretty good. Um, yeah, man, I agree with you. Revisiting these original ones again this time, I think it's almost a perfect trilogy. And the Andrew Garfield ones, I remember liking the first one, the second one. I remember not liking it when I first saw it, but I haven't really revisited those two movies in a long time. So I want to reserve my judgment,
Mm-hmm.
because like the one Spider-Man film that like I seen in theaters and almost got me to like a breaking point emotionally was Andrew like the Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, wow.
So actually no, that and Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm.
So those are the only two films that like now like rewatching the older movies like they kind of got me, but I think it's just because they're a little bit older and stuff. But so I gave it credit there, and then the new ones I like them overall, but I have my problems with Spider-Man and the MCU. That's all I'll say.
Damn. That sounds serious.
But
That sounds like
they're
when
not
you
like
go, like when you, like if the chairman of Marvel was just sitting and you told me that, I'd be like, oh fuck, like I really let him down.
yeah.
I'd be like, God damn, that sounds serious. Like you're about to
Yeah.
fire someone. I got my issues. I'm not gonna tell you what they are, but I got my issues. Like
Yeah.
Jesus, all right.
Yeah. But I have my issues with it.
So scary. Yeah, I guess we can jump in and talk about those. Do you want to go ahead and start with those?
Yeah, and then he said the Venom films are a bit messy but fun as hell. Yeah, I didn't. If anything, I like the first one better, but I think you hit it right on the nail. Like they're fun, like
Just
if you know
enjoyable
what they are, like
overall.
yeah, if you know what they are, especially after seeing it for the first time, you can have fun with it and just enjoy it for what it is, like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Audrey, like you said, it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast, which is we're gonna be revisiting Sam Raimi's. I say original trilogy because now there's gonna be another trilogy with
Yeah.
No Way Home coming up
But this is the
in
one that
next week.
started it all.
Yeah, this is the original one, the OG. So we'll start with Spider Man. Came out in 2002. I was 10, I
Yep.
think. And
10 years old, dude.
little fun fact: I didn't see this movie in theaters, Audrey.
I did. And I saw it over and over and over because I was telling Ben, because he was like, when was the last time you watched this? I was like, I mean, probably when I was like a child, like when it came out. Couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. But I was like, it's because when it came out, I think I watched it so much that I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm good. Like, I
This
don't
is
need to
checked off
revisit.
on my list. Like,
Yeah, I don't need to revisit it. It's not a movie that I would just be like, hey, you know what? I feel like watching Spider-Man. It's not one of those kind of movies for me
yeah,
particularly, but it is a big part of our childhood.
yeah,
Simple as that. And it has that great Nickelback song.
yeah. They need to play. They need to bring that back. That
It actually doesn't come out in the movie though. Isn't that kind of like a
a
bust?
missed opportunity.
But right now that I looked it up, I had my suspicion when I was watching it. I was like, dude, Danny Elfman sounds like he composed the music. And I'm
Oh
right, he
yeah,
did do it. And I
yeah,
was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I had a strong feeling, but I wasn't 100% sure that it was him. So,
yeah.
yeah, Mr.
I
Danny
love Danny
Elfman.
Elfman, except for one thing that he did in the Justice League movies, but it's kind of retcon.
Mm,
So I kind of forgive him. Like,
you're
he's still
like, all
perfect in
right.
my.
I mean, come
Yeah,
on, dude. He has some great scores under his belt.
yeah. He's
But
up
yeah.
there.
Yeah. But yeah, so we all know obviously that it was directed by Sam Raimi. It's got Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kristen Dunst, James Franco, Cliff Robertson, and Rosemary Harris,
Yes, among others.
among others,
Oh, you
obviously.
can't forget.
Bruce Campbell.
This is my favorite part of the whole movies. J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons.
Oh, that's
He's my
right.
fucking favorite. He always makes me die, like every fucking time,
I know,
throughout
dude.
the whole trilogy.
He left such a big impact on those movies. Like, he just fucking killed that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had one job. Like they told him, okay, this is your one job, and he was like, all right, fuck it, I got this.
He understood the assignment.
He understood. Yeah, seriously, he's great. He's great. He brings something completely to that character like no other.
And I feel like that's why he's the first one that came back. Like he was in Far From Home at the end credits, and everybody was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
Little did
Yeah.
we know.
Yep. But yeah. So obviously, like we said, this one came out in 2002. Do you feel like it aged well?
Not really. I there's a lot of scenes that I see in there, like obviously like the special effects are kind of like, but actually I might take that back because it does have a lot of practicality in it, and I like watching it this time. I'm like, man, I miss movies like this. Like I miss this type of action because you can actually feel it. Even his suit, you can actually like feel like it's real, like he actually made it, and like I don't want to compare and contrast, but that's all I'll say. Like Tom Holland's suit, I don't feel like it's real at all.
Yeah.
So I love like the practical stunts and stuff like that, but there is some like CGI. Like CGI didn't have like hold up.
Yeah. Some of it is not great, but it gets the job done. And I
Yeah,
mean, you can just kind of use your imagination.
yeah, and it's not like it's in like any major like scene, so it's like just a little bit here and there, so it's not major.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I mean, I feel like aged okay. The humor was a little like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I mean, overall, like, I think it was. I think it's. I think it's good. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from too. But I definitely enjoyed these movies because like we have knockout performance by Willem Dafoe as the Green
yeah,
Goblin. He just did amazing.
he's the best.
And even James Franco, like I was like watching this and I was like, man, this was when James Franco was like just James Franco. Now he's like James Franco AKA weirdo. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, now we have like this completely like different perception of him because we've seen him do some weird ass shit.
Yeah.
But this is when he was just more of like this like good looking guy that was like kind of like cool but kind of weird. Like, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was just James Franco. And I really enjoy him in this. And I really enjoy Kristen Dunst in this one too. Which surprising because I'm not like a huge fan of her, but she's in some of my favorite movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's how I was like, wait, I thought she was like one
She's
of
in
your
some of my favorite
darlings.
movies. Yeah, she's in some of my favorite movies, but it's just bizarre. Like I just don't like I wouldn't put her as like one of my favorite actresses, but I don't know. I guess she must be doing something right cuz she's like I said, she's in some of my faves.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, Green Goblin scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he's still now that I look at him, I'm kind of like, okay, he looks a little silly, but I still like the concept.
The costume, yeah.
Yeah, I still think it looks dope.
I feel like generally this trilogy is more like comic booky and more silly and cheesy. Which I feel like it definitely is kind of like Sam Raimi, like that's his choices, you know?
Yeah,
But at the same time it does a good job because it's like kind of sets it apart in other things that have been out in that time, but also now, like nowadays you don't get that stuff anymore.
yeah,
And I think
exactly.
that's why like rewatching these, you kind of it's kind of like almost like a breath of fresh air, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not you don't have to worry about like, oh, is fucking Doctor Strange gonna show up or anything? It's not
Exactly.
connected, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I
So
completely get what you're saying. That's what I was thinking too, because we were talking about that, how Marvel movies now kind of feel like they just have an agenda. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before on the podcast, but it
yeah,
just feels like there's like, they're just cash grabs at this point. I know that's kind of like rough or ruthless to say because people love them, but at some point it does feel like that because they're just setting up the next movie. They have to think like they're thinking like super ahead of us. Like
yeah,
they're already setting up movies way down the line. So they're like, okay, we have to make sure that this lines up with this because then this person's going to show up and then this character is going to show up and they're going to do this. So it just feels all very like premeditated. So it's
yeah,
not, it loses its like magic in a way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It doesn't feel
And they all just
as,
feel like stepping stones, kind of, you know, like,
yes.
oh, okay, this is just to get us here. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like individually like unique or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what like one of my biggest problems with Marvel. Even though like I know we're saying this, but like I will always be their opening night for all their movies. You know, I love Marvel and everything they've done and everything. But I get you.
Yeah.
I feel
And
you.
this is good because we have you that's like a super hardcore fan and then you have me that I'm just kind of like there. Like I'm more
Yeah,
like hardcore but I still will watch them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um but no, I really enjoyed these also because I think you definitely feel Sam Raimi's horror background, which
yeah,
I can definitely enjoy. Because yeah, even like some of the shots and the way the scares, like, cause there are some like scares, and they feel super cool. Like they feel like very much like him,
yeah.
if
And
you
it's
know
just
who he is.
him getting to play with Defoe and his Green Goblin, how he's all like crazy and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely has a lot for. I think he left his touch on it, and it was just the perfect amount. You know.
yeah,
But I really enjoyed it, and I also enjoy the silliness in it. Like there's that one scene where the Goblin he kidnaps Spider-Man and he has him like on top of like a building and like
oh
he's telling
yeah.
him and like that scene is just so like
He
silly.
just knocks him on the head and
Yeah.
like,
It just adds like some like I don't know, like some playfulness to the character. It doesn't take himself too seriously. You know what I mean?
yeah. But I like that
So,
conversation they have because it is like that whole like villain versus hero type of thing, and I
mhm.
love that dynamic. But going back this time, like other than like him just like I guess the Goblin character like doing good stuff for Norman,
Mhm.
I don't know what else like was his motivation to keep doing bad things because I know like in that sequence he's like, oh, like imagine what we can do together, you know? Like what exactly were they trying to do, you know? Like I don't feel like
Take over the world.
yeah, like you know, like in the second one they improved because Ock has kind of a motivation, you know, this is
Yeah.
like life's work, whatever. But like Defoe is just kind of there. He's
He
just like,
was just kind
oh,
of he was just pissed because they were gonna fire him or they did
yeah.
fire him. And I mean, obviously he took care of that shit because he killed the board members. But
Yeah.
then he was like, I want to do more, you know? I
Yeah.
think he was just like on a power trip because he was like used to being a man in a position of power. So at that point, he saw like the possibilities were endless with someone like Spider Man by his side.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think William Dafoe did an amazing job with that
And he,
character.
even though like in those situations too, where he's we'll meet again, Spider-Man. Like it's just
Yeah,
he like laughs too. Like it's just I don't know. It's like more
it's like
comic booky and cheesy, but I love it.
exactly. Yeah, and it has that comic book feel, which I think is like what it's supposed to feel like in a way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like we're kind of like missing the point. Like it's supposed to feel like that. Like it's supposed to be kind of still like cheesy and fun, not take itself too seriously. And I
Yeah.
really enjoy that about these movies. I think they're just a good time, and
Yeah.
it has some deep moments too. Obviously, one of the saddest moments is when his uncle Ben gets killed,
Yeah.
and we were all like, I was like, God damn! I was like, I'm still crying after all these years. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I think that actor did an amazing job too
Cliff Robertson. Yeah.
at being an Uncle Ben. He fit the bill perfectly, you know. And Aunt
Yeah.
May too. I thought she was great.
Like
And
you
now
feel
she's
like
like,
they're uncles. Like they're like warm and cuddly.
yeah, exactly. But and like I said, Aunt May did an amazing job too. And now like it's like Marissa Tomei, so it's like we have like the younger version of her.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like her. I like the that's a whole another thing, but it's just like a lot of things that they've decided to switch up. So
Yeah.
um, I
What about
wanted
Toby?
to.
How do you feel? Oh, you wanted to like catch up with the comments?
Well, actually, that was one of the comments that I saw that Amari put. Tom Holland is a perfect Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I have to disagree. For me, Toby is always going to be my Spider-Man. 100%.
Yeah.
He's always going to be, for me, the perfect Spider-Man. I just think he's the perfect Spider-Man. Tom Holland, to me, I still have problems with him. Still, to this day.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I think you've said you're a fan of him, but you have obviously problems with it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of him as an actor, and I don't dislike him as a Spider-Man. I just have like my problem with that whole thing is just that we haven't seen him be Spider-Man yet. He's always
Right.
just getting help from other people, and like I want him to have an individual story. Like I don't want him to go through the same things like, oh, he can't pay rent, all this stuff. He can have different problems, and he's still a teenager, so legally Aunt May needs to pay his rent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see those struggles in the next trilogy, but I just haven't seen, at least in my opinion, who like the Spider-Man character is in him yet. And I
It's like
and
he's been stuck in this like little
yeah, he's
like
been
he's never
pigeonholed.
progressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I can see
like
that.
that's why, but like his performance is good. I mean, there is some glimpses of those things in those movies, but they haven't been like flourished.
Yeah.
Um so hopefully, I mean, in this third one it just kind of feels like don't get me wrong, I'm highly anticipating it and stuff, but it just feels like we're still not gonna get his individual story.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. So, who would you say is your Spider-Man?
It's hard because this time around, like I think I'm always gonna be a Maguire, a Toby fan. But I do find like his Spider-Man lacking some of like those quips that Andrew does so well in those movies. Um, so overall, I think I'd pick Toby, but I do like Andrew did a great job too, and like I prefer some of the things he did over Toby. But like overall, Toby. Toby.
I was gonna say, can we get like a sticker to slap on front of the Real Talk logo and be like, this is a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Team Toby.
Yeah, this is the Real Talk Spider-Man, because we both agree, which is not something that happens all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder if it has to do with just because this came out when we were young.
Yeah, that's the whole like stance I was trying to look at it too. Like, oh, is it just nostalgia? But I just think he's been overall in the better Spider-Man movies, and also
Yeah.
like as Peter, I feel like he's done a better job. Like I didn't the whole like Garfield being like cool already and talking to girls, and like maybe they're trying to go for like a different type of teenager, like a different
Yeah.
awkward type of teenager, but I don't know. that kind of
And
didn't mesh well with me.
I also love that they make this Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, he's smart. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because I feel like they haven't done that for the Tom Holland one. They
yeah,
made him more kind of like like he's just like a dorky kid, like that's really like what's the word? Fuck.
shy, awkward, or
Shy, like yeah, just like kind of sheltered. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but yeah, like it's not like this one. Yeah, he's a dork and he's a nerd, but he's just really smart too. You know, like he knows his
yeah,
shit. And for me, I think that's an important thing because I make it. It's what helps me like make sense of a lot of things that happen in this movie. I'm like, yeah, well,
yeah.
he's super smart. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. And
Yeah,
it
that's
also
something he
helps.
didn't inherit from the Spider Bite.
Right, right. He was already like smart on his own. And I don't know. I think there's just like a vulnerability that Toby Maguire brings that helps a lot too, because going into the second one where he's struggling with being able to be with MJ,
Yeah,
he makes it pretty believable. You know what I mean? And I can appreciate that because like I said, he brings that sort of like side of him where you know he loves this girl, you know he's in love with her since he's been like a child,
yeah,
but he's smart and he knows the consequences, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I don't know, I really enjoy his Spider-Man. So
yeah.
yeah,
Same
I
here.
think I probably need to go rewatch the Garfield ones because
And
I
his
think
costume is my favorite too.
yes, his costume is the greatest. And I love the fact that like when he's first starting off, he comes out in that like shitty version
Oh
where
yeah,
it's just like a
like a
sweater.
pajamas or something.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's believable. It
Yeah.
wasn't believable though that he was like a super good artist. Like when he was like sketching it all out, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay. I was like, all
Like you're
right.
smart. You can draw and all that stuff. Like we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I could appreciate the fact that they like put that shitty design on him first to make it seem like, you know what, he's finding his way, you know?
And what was his name first? He's they got my
The
name
human
wrong.
spider.
The human spider. Because like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So yeah, but I like I said, I think I need to rewatch the Andrew Garfield ones. I only
Yeah,
saw them
those
like
are next up
when
for
it
us
came out.
too.
Yeah. But we're taking it one bit at a time.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we do you want to cover something more from the first one?
Um, I just again like as a trilogy, like I always this is why I kind of defend the third one because I always seen this as a trilogy, as a story, and I think for the first film to introduce us to the characters, to give us Spider-Man's origin, and to again introduce us to Mary Jane, even Harry Osborn, who we're gonna follow
Mhm.
throughout this trilogy. It does a great job in that. And again, the action I feel like still holds up because it's more practical. And I again, like I said, I miss that type of stuff. And you're right. I think performance wise, everybody that was like committed. You know, I think Sam Raimi did a great job in directing and all that stuff. Um, I'm trying to find like a
Something you
negative
don't
to yeah,
like?
like well we talked about like the CG doesn't hold up. Um, I don't know. Also too like the narration kind of didn't lead to anything in the beginning. It's like oh
Yeah, he's like
my story is
narrating.
like yeah it's like
Yeah. I mean, eh, small
yeah
potatoes. It's small
yeah
potatoes, all right?
I'm trying to nitpick here.
Yeah. But overall, it was enjoyable. I did definitely enjoy it. And yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
was nostalgic for me. For just having the VHS tape. Jesus Christ.
yeah, the
I
VHS, the
wonder if we still
DVD.
have it. I'm pretty sure it's still at my parents' house. That'd be so crazy.
I still have the DVD. It's somewhere here.
The OG DVD or what?
Yeah, the OG DVD,
Jesus.
and I remember just watching all the special features, all that stuff. Like there was even a countdown to Spider-Man 2 in there, and I was like, oh shit, no way.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even when you think about the like marketing behind this movie, it was insane. It was everywhere. Like I remember the part where he's in his room and he like shoots at the Dr. Pepper. That shit was
Yeah,
everywhere. It was like major promotion for Dr. Pepper.
yeah,
And they did such a good job at marketing it. Amazing. I miss
yeah. Like
those
I was
times.
so like jealous of like not seeing it in theaters. Like you don't even know. But like as soon as I got my hands on it, I think my brother was able to buy like a bootleg one of it. So I was just watching the shit out of it, and then we got it and just watching it.
You're like, sick, yeah. Oh, you have it in
Yeah,
the back there.
yeah. I pulled it out. This is
Hell
my
yeah.
4K
There it is,
Steelbook
guys.
edition.
In the flesh. But yeah, I think with that we can move on to the second one, which is introducing the villain of Doc Ock.
Mr. Alfred Molina.
Yep.
But real quick, I just wanted to catch
Oh.
up with the comments. Garfield's the only one who didn't get his trilogy. R.I.P. Hopefully that is changed because there's a theory that if they come out in this, Sony's trying to set up for Garfield to get his third one and Toby to get his fourth one. But I don't know how true that is. I would really like for Andrew to get his third one, but I mean, this is all
Who
speculation
knows?
and rumors and all that stuff. Raymond says, I guess seeing it in 4K is a double-edged sword since some of the effects still haven't aged, are clearly on display. Personally, I always watch these movies on DVD for 480p. I feel you, man. Even what was I watching? I watched the movie earlier, like that kind of made me get a feel like, oh hey, like it captures the feel of that. It kind of is like a time capsule for the time it came out. And I was talking to this with Alex, like maybe that's why I kind of love collecting movies, and also like I wouldn't mind collecting DVDs because that just sort of like quality. It's kind of like an honest like form of the movie or something. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So like DVDs are still for me like are
Number
pretty
one.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool because it kind of freezes these movies in time
Yeah.
at what they were first shot as, you know? Because once they
Yeah.
get a 4K, they're spiffied up way,
Yeah,
like
like sometimes it's
way too
like too
much.
much.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like those like telenovelas where it looks like super hyper realistic, and you're
Oh yeah,
just
yeah.
like it takes you out of the movie. I don't like that at all.
Like when it's like
So yeah,
120 hertz, like frames per second or something. It's like really like oh shit.
yeah, it's bizarre, but I personally that's why I prefer DVDs as well. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, depends on what I'm watching, but yeah.
And Aaron says, I saw the video and there was some surprising amount of digitals I was quite intrigued about. Yeah, man. Go comment. Again, there's a lot of digital download codes on my last Blu-ray haul that a lot of people haven't claimed yet. So we'll be picking winners in the next few days. So the only thing I don't like the Spider-Man films, Raimi, is MJ's character, specifically in Spider-Man 2. She leaves the astronaut dude on wedding day. So something I've noticed this time around, and we're going to talk about, is that she not only cheats on Harry with Spider-Man, but she like technically cheats on this astronaut dude with
Yeah,
Peter.
she just
She
cheats
even
on
did the third
everyone.
one. He cheats on Peter with Harry.
Yeah,
Well, there was a kiss, but I don't know. But
she's still like all over the map, bro.
yeah,
She's like, she can't make up her mind. She's just like, but I mean, okay, in realistically, she gets married way too quick. Like, she
yeah.
literally tells Peter, hey, I met this guy. And then he's like, oh, like,
Is it
couple or
serious or
something? Yeah.
something?
And she's
Well,
like, yeah, maybe, or some shit like that. I don't know.
yeah.
And then, like, they get married, like, a month after, if at that.
If
And I'm
that,
just
yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, damn, this girl's over here, like, getting married all fast.
And at the same
But
time, too,
yeah.
like she loves Peter, so why would she be trying to marry? I don't know.
Well, I think she was just trying to do the whole like I'm gonna show him what like that I'm moving on so he can
Yeah.
like want me more. Some shit like that. Oh wait, I forgot to shut wait, no. This isn't the second one. Never mind. Keep going.
All right, real quick. Personally, I enjoyed the unpredictability of the Marvel films, and I like the recent movies as individual films. But what I see where you're saying,
Oh,
personally,
because we were talking about how the MCUs I think are predictable. He said unpredictable. I think okay, maybe
like in the
predictable is
sense
the
of like,
wrong that they're just setting them up for
yeah,
everything.
I feel you.
I mean, I think isn't that considered predictable? Like when you already know like they're setting some shit up.
I guess, yeah, but like the same time, like I like the idea of a shared universe, and again, I'm a fan of it. Like I have the box sets,
Yes.
like I love that shit.
Yes.
But it's like,
If anything, you guys can hate on me because I'm like the one that's like over here like eh.
yeah, like there's just like a lot of scenes where a character is gonna have his moment, and then they put in a joke. And again, it's cool to have humor in it, but at the right times. And it's like when Doctor Strange gets his cape, cool. You see him coming up. Oh shit, that's the Sorcerer Supreme. But then the cape like does this little thing, like slaps his hand or something. It's a joke. It gets
Does some
really, you
goofy
know, it's
shit.
like for me, there's a lot of stuff that it doesn't make these movies feel individual, like while being connected. I guess I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's
I don't know.
almost like
That's a whole nother
a.
topic, though.
Yeah, I feel like I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm not gonna get into it because yeah.
We can spend another hour
Yeah, exactly.
saying that. Spider-Man is an intriguing character. The different people that portray him is interesting. Toby's interpretation is great. Andy Garfield's interp is fun. Tom Holland's interp is fun too and amazing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of them, like for me, like I love something about them, and I don't have a complaint about like their performances per se. It's just kind of like for me, Holland's kind of like in this box, you know. And
Yeah,
I want
he's
him to
just
break free.
free. Like, go, Spider Man, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're
Um,
saying.
Eddie S says Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. I would say Yuri. What?
Yuri Lowenthal
Oh, I think that's the one from the TV show.
is my favorite Spidey, but we're talking live action.
Yeah. And then what's this?
Eureka should be the new Spider. I don't know who that is. Sorry.
I don't know who that is either. Oh, it might be. Was that the character from Spider
Was that
Verse?
your house?
No, that was you.
No, was
He's a
it?
ghost. Yeah.
Oh shit. That
Spider-Man
goes.
Part 1 is my favorite of the trilogy, but why does Flash look like he's 33? That's that. Thank you so much
Dude,
for that.
honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's one of my complaints. Is like they're supposed to be in high school, but they don't really look like they're in high school.
Well, especially Flash. He
Yeah,
looks
Flash,
like
fucking
he's 30. That's what I said too. I was like,
oh,
damn, he looks so old.
yeah. Joe
But yeah.
Manganiello. Yuri was the one in 2018. Okay, that's why I don't know. I thought
Ooh.
you were talking about the TV show, but I heard that Spider-Man is a pretty great Spider-Man as well, interpretation. But
Nice.
all right, guys, we were kind of already touched upon part two, but obviously for me, this is my favorite Spider-Man film. Right, it's like right there with into the Spider-Verse with yeah, into the Spider-Verse, like right, right.
I have
I
yet
can't
to
pick.
finish that. I only watched like the beginning of
Oh,
that movie.
dude,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of moments in that made me
Yeah.
feel like fuck, this is Spider-Man, even if it's Miles. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 came out in 2005, Audrey.
2004.
2004.
So 2
And
years
I did
after.
see this one in theaters. I remember the day. I remember sitting in my fucking seat, like everything. I remember looking around the theater. I went with all my family, surprisingly. My mom, my dad, my brother, me. Like that was like one of my memories. But
Wow.
I was highly anticipating this movie, especially just again the marketing behind this was great. I saw it everywhere, just like getting all the toys and all that stuff. Um,
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. But this is not only like one of my favorite comic book movies, but this is actually one of my favorite movies overall too. It's
Oh,
probably like I put
wow.
it up there. Put it up
Damn.
there. It gets me all the time.
You heard it
Every
here,
time.
folks. This is
Yeah.
John's top movie of all time.
Well, not top movie, but one of my favorite films.
Well, I mean, shit. It's up there. It's
It's up
top.
there,
It's
yeah.
like top 20 for sure.
Yeah, top 20.
Goddamn. All
Gotta
right.
gotta, gotta
Well,
have a little bit of flavor in my top 20 list. But
yeah.
what about you, Audrey? What's your little like history with it? Did you watch it in theaters? Did you watch it after?
Yeah, I mean, I watched all of these in theaters, all three. And yeah, just same as you. I'm pretty sure I went like opening night, like on the premiere.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were just everyone was like super excited for it, and I think this one has even more, I don't want to say heart to it, but maybe. Just
Yes.
because the story, just because the story, like Doc Ock's story is like really like sad and unfortunate, and you kind of see where he gets like his origin story,
Yeah.
perfect mixture of that. One of my favorite scenes is like when they're like all talking, because I was like, oh, it's such a heartwarming moment where he's like talking about how he met his wife.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, shed a tear. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I think I would agree with you that I like this one. That this one's probably I like it more than the first one
Yeah.
for sure. Even though I loved William Dafoe's Green Goblin, but I think
Yeah.
I like this one more than that.
Like I feel like Willem Dafoe is more of a villain,
Yes.
even though Aqua again he was a villain too. It's just like his story, and again his story. It's like a one of redemption too. He does like redeem himself,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but I guess in both ways, because I was gonna say more Doc Ock. He I feel like is a mirror of what Spider Man wants to be. You know what I'm saying? It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a mirror, like again, because he's like, oh, with great intelligence, like great power and all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So it's funny you mentioned that scene too, where they're just talking about like how they met and stuff like that. It's almost as Peter, he's like seeing like, hey, I want to be like this guy, like I want Mary
Mm-hmm.
Jane and live this type of life, and like he's smart, so he wants to do something in that field and stuff, you know. Um, but I think you're right. This one more like just gets into like, okay, now that he's Spider Man, again, it's like the next chapter. Now that he's Spider Man, how is his life going to change and get affected and stuff like that? And we see that like it truly is like he's trying to live two lives and they get in
Yeah.
the way of each other, you know.
Yeah.
And his struggle with being Peter and Spider Man, like both of them. So I feel like you can't have a great movie without like conflict and stuff like that. And this movie does have a lot of conflict. I know like sometimes people are like, oh man, like just like everything goes wrong for him in this movie and stuff like that. Like, but I don't know. I just
I think it feels like believable though
yeah,
in my head. And I like that they show him going through that like after high school challenge of him like going to college, being broke, living in like a shitty apartment, not having like any
yeah,
money, and like he's just like a mess, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
like you said, he's trying to balance both. And then he does like a 360 where he just completely shuns Spider-Man and just tries to focus on being Peter,
yeah,
but that doesn't work out. So yeah, I think it's cool because it does show that struggle, and I think, like I said, it makes it more enjoyable and more believable as a whole.
yeah.
So yeah, and
Like
it also has. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say real quick that like that shot where before he goes to the MJ's play where he's trying to go at least like where you see the suit and then
Oh
Spider-Man
yeah.
suit, like that's just like and captures what Spider-Man was always like,
Hmm.
what I've known him to be, like
Yeah.
always Peter Parker and Spider-Man and his struggle with being both.
And I also like that they play into the part of him being a photographer.
Yeah,
Because he starts selling his pictures to the newspaper because that's what he does for them.
yeah,
And like he's like behind on his cat, like they try to give him, he tries to get like an advance, and like he's behind, and it's just like, like the struggle
yeah,
is real for him, and like you can definitely feel it. But yeah, I really like Doc Ock too. I think Alfred Molina brings something really cool to this character too.
yeah,
That softness, but also that like kind of like also like scary vibe,
yeah,
where
like menacing and stuff like that.
menacing. Yeah, it has one of my favorite scenes is the one where he obviously like the experiment went wrong, so like they have him on the like hospital bed or whatever, and they're gonna
Oh
do
yeah,
surgery, and like all the tentacles are like going crazy. Dude, that shit's fucking nuts.
Sam Raimi again with those horror roots showing.
Yeah, cause it's scary. Like holy shit, dude. Like I remember
Yeah,
watching this in theaters and being like scared, cause yeah, it's like super like scary, and like you said, it is Sam Raimi. I think it we all owe it to him that he has those roots, and he was really like not afraid to show it, and it didn't feel overdone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It felt like just right. He gave it the right amount, and yeah, I love that scene. I think it's great.
yeah. Shows kind of like the tragedy of like what Doc Ock is going through, because it is that it's like tragic, like an accident happened, and
Mm-hmm.
again, like so in those little scenes, we're able to see how Doc Ock is like Octavius is a good person. He's trying to do something for the good of mankind and stuff like that, and we see him like lose everything, his dream, his work, his wife, and everything. So it's like when the things take over him, he's kind of just going with it because he's kind of in grief, like still
Yeah, he's
processing everything and
vulnerable.
everything.
He's
Yeah,
vulnerable, and I think that's really cool too because it just shows. It also shows the like whole aspect of mind over matter type of thing because we see like later on he's able to overcome that and like him
yeah,
control like the tentacles, right? Because at
yeah,
first they're controlling him. He hears the voice and he just kind of gives into it. But then when Peter kind of reminds him, like, hey, this is who you were, this is what you would tell me, and this and that, it helps him
Yeah.
be like, oh shit, like he can overcome it and he takes control. So I love that. I thought that was super cool too.
He actually tells him what Otto told him in the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like it's a privilege to be used for the good of mankind. So it's like, and also what Aunt May told Peter. Like that's why I love that he kind of uses that. Like, because at the end, it's not really a fight. Like the last like major set piece is the train one, which is amazing. And at the
Mm-hmm.
end, Peter kind of doesn't fight him; he helps him, and that's Ock is the one who kind of like saves the day. He's the
Yeah.
one that brings the things down and everything. So that's why I really love that. Like, it wasn't really a big fight at the end. It was
Mm-hmm.
more of a talk and like more. There's like suspenseful things happening and stuff, but like it's not your traditional type of thing.
Yeah. It's not like what we got with the Green Goblin where he just straight up kills him,
Yeah.
impales him. That shit
And
was
these
nice
fights,
too.
even with Green Goblin and Doc Ock, that's why I'm like, man, if Toby Spider Man and Holland Spider Man ever met, Toby would fucking dog the shit out of him because they're brutal. Those fights are like shit,
Yeah.
man.
He gets the shit kicked out of him, dude.
Yeah,
Like, especially in the Green Goblin one.
yeah,
And then with the train one, like you said, like that shit was nuts too. Like
yeah,
the way he did it and everything. But in this one, we also see how they're setting precedent for Harry to become.
yeah.
What are they? Is it Hobgoblin?
I think in the movies he's called New Goblin because
Oh.
Hobgoblin. I think in the comics was probably Harry, but because I know he's like some other guy, and at
Mm-hmm.
one point it was Ned. So I was like, oh shit, it's like
Mm.
fucking, is Ned gonna be the sixth member, the sixth villain or something? I don't know, um, but yeah, like again, like you're saying, it's a continuation. You see, like each of these characters, like find themselves like, okay, like MJ wanted to sing on Broadway, now she's in plays and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
Harry's story continues with his hatred for
Spidey.
Spider-Man because he killed, he thinks he killed his dad, and like again, that kind of brings conflict between him and Peter. Um, so yeah, James Franco
Dude,
getting
it's
the
got one
film.
of the best lines where he's like, what does he say? He's like, he insulted me just by touching me or something like that.
Oh yeah, but just
Remember?
putting his hands on me or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see that kind of like, oh, I think you muted yourself. John, I think you muted yourself. Can you hear me? Okay, there you go. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
Oh,
hear?
okay, cool. Yeah, I
Oh,
can hear you.
I literally just moved the cord a little bit, and then I got. Oh, you unplugged the mic.
I just saw the little mic shut off. But yeah, so I think this was an enjoyable experience for me. Like I said, I really enjoyed everything, and you see one of my favorite characters, even though she's not in it that long, but the neighbor girl, I think she's just like so like
Oh yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Her and the dad, like the rent, he's like, "Where's my rent?"
Rent.
So funny.
He said, "This is a free country, but not rent-free country."
I know.
Oh man, the
But I
comedy
just
in these are pretty cool too. They're pretty hilarious.
yeah, I was like telling Ben, I was like, I just love her. She's there for him when he needs it the most, you know. He needs
Yeah,
cheering up. Even though like he doesn't think twice about her. Like he doesn't even like look in her direction, but she's there, like just being there for him, and it's
like
just
I
so
feel
sweet.
like that moment, like you said, is so sweet. Let's say it comes at like at a time where he needs it. Like a reminder of like that people are still like not that people are hating on him, but he kind of feels like it's him versus the world, and like it's kind of a sincere moment of like, hey, people are good. It's just like I guess like this rough patch or something.
Yeah, he's going through it because I think he had just finished telling Aunt May like that it was his fault what happened
Yeah,
to his uncle Ben. So he's just feeling really down in the dumps. So the fact that like she's there for him and like offers him a piece of cake is just really
yeah.
endearing. And I'm just like, oh my god.
And I like it.
Um.
Like at the end of it, it's like, oh wait, you have a message from Mary Jane, or
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
I
time.
know.
Like she couldn't lead with that or something, but it's
Well, she knew what she was doing. She's like, if I mention Mary Jane, it's over. He's not gonna like even like sit
yeah,
down
that's
and have a
right.
piece of cake.
Yeah,
But that's how it is sometimes, and it's just like so. I don't know. Like it's just it feels very real, very you know, just like real life, something that would happen.
yeah,
So I
sincere.
really
And
enjoy it. Sincere, yes, that's the word
yeah,
I was looking for. Um, but yeah, And then we also see like Mary Jane hating his guts, and then we see the infamous part of like her trying to redo the upside down kiss, and it doesn't work
Oh
with that
yeah.
astronaut guy. And I was asking
She
Ben, I was
said,
like, everyone was trying to do that. Every
yeah,
fucking couple was trying to do that.
yeah, like do the upside down kiss. But I find it funny too. That guy's like, "Wow, I'm on the moon," and then like she's kind of like disappointed, and
I
he's
know.
like, "Are you up there with me?" I was like,
Like,
"Fuck,
nah,
man, that's
bro.
fucked up."
Like, nah, bro. She fucking hated it. She was like,
Yeah,
nah, it's not the same. It's not the same with Spider Man, you know? And in
yeah,
my
poor
head, I'm like,
guy.
I can't believe it took her so long to figure out it was him.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's a kind of a hint at the end of the first one because she's like, "Oh, the kiss," you know. But then it's
Yeah.
like, well, like, what is literally Peter doing that's so important that she can't be here, like, for all this stuff? It's like, come on.
And he calls her MJ. Like, in one of the times that he's saving her.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's like,
I didn't
MJ, hold
catch
my
that.
hand. And I was like, okay, she would have to know by then.
Just by the sound of his voice, too.
Yeah, even that. Like if they're best friends, you're telling me that she doesn't recognize his voice. Like okay, he
Yeah, like,
didn't
come
he didn't
on.
do a Batman where he changed it. So
Then we have Alex
fake.
here saying fake. What's up, Alex?
Thanks
Chilling,
for
killing,
tuning
dealing,
in,
bro.
Alex. Even though
Thanks,
you just
bro.
come in to hate on us.
I know he doesn't like. So I think he actually says that he liked these movies, like these ones,
Like back in
like
the day,
Spider-Man 2.
probably.
Yeah, back in the day. But I don't know.
But now he's more sophisticated, so he's like, no,
Yeah,
I can
he
never.
just likes French New Wave and no, I just can't imagine.
But yeah, I think we touched on a lot of the topics that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
something else that you want to mention.
Um, not really. Just again, this does have a pretty cool end song. I like the song at the end too. Um, but yeah, I just think like this movie is more than just like again like it's one of my favorites for a reason. The filmmaking again is just so on point. It has one of the best superhero fight scenes, and again, this one is the epitome of like why I love Spider-Man. And also just after this, like I just want to be a better person after this movie, like
It
um
makes you want to be like a your own hero, like
yeah,
what's her name says, Aunt May.
yeah, exactly. Like that Aunt May's speech, like right there when she's like moving out or whatever, and the little boy's like helping out. Like that's just everything for me. It's like, man, like
Oh my god, dude, the part with the fucking toaster, where she's like trying to get a loan.
oh yeah.
And like
Let
she
me
takes
get
out
the
her little
toaster.
coupon.
Yeah.
She's like, but we get the free toaster. And he's like, no,
He's
actually you don't.
actually
She's
that's
like, oh,
with the deposit of 300 or more. It's like,
I
god damn it, like
know.
come on guys, like
Give the lady her toaster. Even
yeah.
though I think it's kind of funny that like she wants a toaster so bad. Like you're telling me you don't have a toaster, lady? Come on.
Yeah.
But
It's something
yeah.
like a aunt or grandma would do or something.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, no, but it says here that I get this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Again, it has those funny moments. Like in the
so many
beginning
heartfelt moments. Yes.
when he's like trying to deliver the pizza on time and that
Oh
guy takes
yeah.
a slice and he like takes a slice. And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Whoa, he stole that guy's pizzas." Like that's always just like
Oh, and it also has I forgot to mention that it also has some people before they were famous, like
yeah.
fuck, I don't know their names, but the girl that works at the newspaper, she's
Oh,
big
Elizabeth
now.
Banks.
Yes, fuck, she has
Yeah.
such a basic name. Sorry, not to say she's basic, but she does. And yeah, she's in it, and she's huge. And then it also has, I don't know her name either, but I know she comes out in Bones, the show
Yeah,
Bones.
that's what my girl told me when we were watching. She's like, "That's the girl from Bones," because she just I think she was just watching it or something.
How cute! She's like,
Yeah, I almost thought something was wrong. She like stops me like I was like, "Oh shit, what's wrong, babe?" Like,
she's like, oh my god, I've never seen that show, but they've shown so many like trailers of it that I was like, I was able to recognize her. And
yeah,
yeah, she's like super young in that.
yeah.
So it gave a lot of people their starts. It also has the pizza guy, the owner of the pizza. He's big too.
Is it really?
The
I've seen him in other stuff, but I feel like he's always like a background.
I mean, I think he's in stuff, but yeah, you're right. He's more kind of like a. That's what he's done most
Yeah.
background. But yeah, Let me see. I think that's it. Um, it also has that really cool scene where he's like walking down the street and he's like, all happy.
Oh yeah, the raindrops are
Just keep
falling.
walking. No, my head. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah.
But also, real
Solid.
quick, now that I remember, I love the thing that happens to him, that he's losing his powers because subconsciously he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. You know, like
Yeah.
he kind of just doesn't realize that. Like he's always assuming like, oh, I have to, but like that's why he stopped working because it's like his struggle. You know, like everything that he's been going through is like, fuck, like I don't want to be Spider-Man. You know, like so yeah. I think
I think
we
that was a
pretty
good
touch.
recap.
Yeah, pretty good recap. I guess we'll touch upon the third one because Audrey
I was gonna
hasn't
say
seen
the
it since
next one.
2007.
I was gonna say this next recap is gonna be very very short because I haven't seen it yet. I did see it when it came out, obviously, but I didn't get to rewatch it. The
And
2007 Spider-Man.
I only watched up until I don't know, but I only watched like 20 and 30 minutes of it. So
This is
rewatching it.
probably my least favorite, even though
Yeah.
Ben says I'm crazy because he apparently does enjoy it. But I just remember really hating um, Eddie Brock's
Yeah.
character. Can't fucking stand him.
Even though I love Topher Grace and
Yeah, me too. I
the
love
TV
him, but I
show.
just hated him in this movie, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. At my
Yeah.
young age, I was like, this isn't right. This
Like
isn't. This can't be it. This isn't.
he literally goes to church and asks God to kill Peter Parker.
I know. You're
It's
like,
like, come on.
what?
And the funny thing is that they kind of answer him. He's like, okay, cool. Here's a Venom suit. Like, there's that whole moment of realization. Like, oh, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? But then we do have Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman,
Oh yeah,
which he did good. He had
he
also
steals
that,
my heart.
yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, and then I forgot Bryce Dallas Howard comes out in this.
Yeah, that's Gwen Stacy.
Jesus Christ, dude. I
Yeah,
completely forgot about that.
that's the thing. Like for me, like I think I'm with Ben. I really enjoy it, and as a that's why I kept referring it as a trilogy in the story. Like where these three main characters end up in the third one, like their whole storylines and everything. I feel like Sam he had a vision for it and he kind of did it. But again, the things that the negatives of it, it's just more like the studio meddling. Okay, we have to put Venom in it, you know, because if you take him out and just have that story of like
Yeah,
Harry like finally
it'd
getting
be
the
good.
suit, you know, it's a tale of revenge and stuff like that, and it kind of ties in with the first movie and even Sandman's role in it too. Like all that stuff like fits. It's just like a lot of the Venom stuff and just Gwen just added there like out of nowhere, you know, and even her dad and all this stuff, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
revisiting them now and in like last year and then when I actually did the video reviews, if you guys are wondering, there's video reviews that I did back in like 2017, like before Homecoming came out. Um, I found out like I really enjoy this movie. It's just there is a lot going on, and it's not the emo Spider-Man, the dancing. But if you look past
So
that,
bad.
I think it's still a pretty decent movie, and as a trilogy, it wraps up pretty good.
The whole like the hair. He had
Yeah,
it like all.
just
It's
that whole
just
dancing thing in the jazz club
yeah.
too is like what?
Like why? What were you doing? I don't understand it. I don't. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
But
He
overall,
said,
I
find us some shade. And he goes, a girl at 20 or something. Like,
oh
who
my
are you
god.
now, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Like it went overly cringy. And what's
yeah,
funny is that it's supposed to be like an altered ego, right? So technically he's supposed to be feeling like more like cool, I guess.
yeah,
And it's not cool at all. It's just annoying. But yeah.
yeah,
I think we do definitely like I said, I think Sandman was actually good. He was
yeah.
a redeeming
He had
villain
a
in
whole point
this.
to his like story. He had a whole story arc and everything. And even in the editor's cut, there's a little bit more with him and his daughter, and you get that it comes the point comes more across. And again, how he's linked to Peter and his story of like redemption because all he wants to do is kill this guy, especially even
Hmm.
more with the black suit. And again, it's something that Harry is facing with too, and what Aunt May tells Peter, like, hey, like revenge is it's like a poison. It can like eat you up inside and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah,
Yeah, this movie, honestly, it has its like down, it's like negatives, but I mean, like I haven't seen it, so I don't really know how I would like it. But
Yeah.
I just remember not being a fan. But that's just
Yeah, I say like again, like I did a little short review on Letterbox. I think a lot of people need to rewatch it because they have that stigma, and then also like when you hear something and read something a lot, like oh Spider-Man 3 sucks, you kind of get that stigma in your
yeah.
head, you know. So that's why like I was pleasantly surprised when I rewatched it that one time. I was, you know what, this if you see it as a like again part of a trilogy, it's a pretty good like with the whole storylines and everything like that. Again, not saying it's my favorite. It does have its flaws. Like the flaws are there, but I think the positives outweigh the
The
negatives. You know,
negatives.
and this is the only film that Danny Elfman didn't score. They used his same
Mm-hmm.
scores, but Christopher Young came in and did some scores for that too, in which I think he did a pretty good job. Um, and yeah, I think the action scenes are pretty cool. Venom, I think for the most part, I kind of like his look. The Venom look it's different, but yeah, Eddie Brock, I don't like him. You know,
He's just such a tool in this one, dude.
yeah,
Can't stand him. Not even like in a cool way where it's like, oh, okay. No, he's just fucking annoying. It's just, ugh, it's just really cringy. But I need to rewatch it, so don't
yeah,
like
definitely,
take everything I say right now like serious because I haven't seen it. Okay, guys, give me a break. I need to watch it though, but I definitely will watch it before the new one comes out.
yeah. So yeah, I think that'll be it for us, like revisiting it. I guess. I still want to finish it, but how do you think these movies will fit into like No Way Home? Like besides the villains returning, um, I don't know. How do you think, like, like now
I don't know.
watching Doc Ock again, his origin story and Green Goblin,
I just feel like they Toby has to come back. Like if he doesn't come back, like I'm gonna be pissed because
Yeah,
how can you not have Toby
the goat.
there for Doc Ock? You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
I'm like there has to be some sort of because they have such a history together. Like there has to be something, and for Green Goblin too.
yeah,
So for me, rewatching these, I was just kind of like, it has to happen, right? Like it has to. I'm gonna be
yeah,
pissed though. I'm gonna be fucking pissed, which I'm pretty sure this is what's gonna end up happening. It's gonna be like where it's either like a second and they're just all together and they're just like a quick little like
yeah,
and then it's over. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But I mean, we have to take in consideration that how are they gonna be able to do it justice in
yeah,
such a they have just in a certain amount of time. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's the
But
thing that like I wanted it to do actually a whole video on this topic because I have a lot to say on it, but at the same time, it's like they have a lot to do in this movie because it's not only the third movie in Tom Holland's thing, but like they also have to fit in this whole multiverse thing that's going on, like in the grand scheme of things in the
mm,
MCU. But now, like, it has a lot of like, the tickets were crazy to get. I actually had to drive to the theaters to get some tickets because I was here in my computer ready to buy tickets on the AMC website like
and it
30
crashed.
minutes before it was like said to be going on sale, and I still couldn't do nothing. So this movie is highly anticipated, but it's also like we're all hell yeah, we want to see it, Toby, whatever. But it also has that danger of like not satisfying. Like it's too big. It's like Endgame. It's not going to satisfy everybody. It's like
Yeah.
impossible. Our expectations. So it's really dangerous for this movie to live up. Like you can expect something, but then like you watch it, like oh man, that Toby and Andrew were only in there for like a second. You know.
That's why I'm not getting myself too hyped up because I feel like I'm going to be let down. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I hype myself up too much. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, I'm not expecting anything too crazy.
Like
So,
to be honest, I'm not. I'm trying to tell myself that they're not in the movie. Like I'm trying to expect like not seeing them. Like because besides all the rumors, and I know there's been a lot of leaked shit and all that stuff, they have not been confirmed.
yeah.
Like at
Yeah.
all. So it's like there is a possible story that they can use those villains, but not use those characters. Like Toby
They
and
might
Andrew or
make a
something.
reference to them.
Yeah, like there's already one in the trailer where Doc Ock says, "You're not Peter Parker,"
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, like he's referring to Toby.
Yeah.
Um,
But as far as we know, that could be it. And that's where it ends.
yeah, because again, like My perfect Spider-Man No Way Home would be just a story of Holland coming into his own. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can't have that if it's overshadowed by the other Peter Parkers. You know, if
Right.
they're even co-starring in the movie, like, hey, they have 15 minutes each all together, and we're gonna say what they've been up to, like with all these years or something. I don't know. I think that will overshadow it, and I don't think they'll do that. You know, so if anything, I think it's just gonna be like in the end fight scene, they might just come out, help them, and then that's it or something. I don't know.
And be like, peace.
Yeah.
What if it's like a really weird like hologram of them?
Like it's not even them. It's just
Yeah, it's just like a floating like thing, and it's just like them like waving, and then they're like leaving,
like, yeah,
like
like
some shit like that. Yeah,
like a little nod.
dude.
Fuck, man,
Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
god. Oh no. I don't know, but all I know is that I'm dreading this movie because I'm gonna get my ass kicked at work.
I'm
I
sorry,
already
Audrey.
know I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like everything's gonna be gnarly. I'm just like fuck.
But the good thing you working in the theaters is that you're gonna get to see it early.
Yes, we will get to see it early. So that is the only good thing because I was like, I don't have to worry about buying a ticket because I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, I'm just dreading it. I'm like, oh my god, dude, oh my god. I'm dreading the runtime. I'm like, dude, if it's 3 hours, I'll be
Well,
pissed.
it's already been it's like an hour and 30, 2 hours and 30.
Oh shit. God
But that's
damn.
including credits, so it's like, but everybody's gonna stay after the credits because
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. Your guys are like when you guys like when it has ending credits like that. It's just so much. It makes the movie a lot longer. Just waiting around for people to leave. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely the most anticipated movie right now. So all we can do now is wait.
Yeah. Next Thursday, guys, we're all gonna be, well, most of us are gonna be in the theater. And I told my
For those of
girlfriend, I
you
was
who
like,
didn't get tickets.
yeah, for those of you, and Audrey, because you're gonna get to see it early. My bad. No, I'm just kidding. But I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, look, we've been to a Marvel movie before with Black Widow and Shang-Chi, but you haven't been to like an event like this because it feels
Yeah.
like Endgame. Like it's just the hype around this movie is so crazy. And again, that's why I'm telling everybody, like, hey, keep your expectations low. Like, like,
Yeah.
yeah, because what if they aren't in the movie?
Yeah, everyone's gonna hate it. Everyone's gonna like even if it's a good movie, they're gonna say it's a shitty movie because it
Yeah,
didn't
because they weren't
have.
in it.
Yeah. So I think the best we can do is just not have any expectations in regards to that
Yeah,
of
at
them
least try
showing
to
up.
keep realistic expectations and go into the movie like with a kind of like open mind. Like, hey, let me see what they do with this Tom Holland's third Spider-Man movie. And I don't know. Let's see what they have planned for us because I don't know. There's a lot of theories and stuff like that. And
I have a feeling they're not
yeah,
in it. Not gonna lie, but
look, that's why I said in my trailer reaction, like, look, nobody has ever said, and then Andrew has been denying it forever. Obviously,
yeah.
they're trained actors. They're told by PR to hate, deny it, right? But I don't know. I don't know.
This is how crazy fandom is though. Like we
Yeah.
literally were like this is like shit that happens with the Mandela effect where you're just like, no, that happened. Like what are you talking about? like
Yeah.
people are like, I saw Toby's foot in that trailer and it's
Yeah.
like, no you didn't. You know what I mean?
Did you see the Brazilian one where they leave it a little bit like when Spider-Man's jumping to all the villains? You see
Uh-huh.
Lizard get kicked by someone
Yeah.
who's not
And
there. Like,
they've been saying that that one is a Spider-Man.
but someone pointed out to me like, what if it's Doc Ock or Venom or because Doc Ock, he's good in the movie. So it's like that's what I'm scared of. Like they're gonna ruin his like sacrifice. But I don't know. There's also a shot too where you see Electro throw a blast, and he like you see like almost like he threw it at Doc Ock, and like he's like falling from it or something. So I don't know. Maybe he turns on them. I don't know.
So do you think
I don't
Venom's
know.
gonna be in this one?
I mean, see again, if they even put him in it, it's just gonna be like way too much. And then there's also a
Yeah.
rumor of Daredevil coming out to like defend Peter Parker from like all the shit that's going on with his identity. So if anything, I think he's probably gonna be saved for like an end credit scene. Like, hey, like,
Like he's gonna come out in the next one.
yeah, like
Yeah.
hold your horses or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, because isn't that what happens in the end
In
credit
the
scene of Venom?
Yeah, that's
He sees him.
he sees Tom, but at the same time, like So he's there, I guess, in the MCU now for that short period of time or something. So like, but if you have that whole storyline of like, hey, Venom's in it, and like he meets Spider Man, and like they become friends or something, I don't know. Like, isn't that like too much?
Yeah, it's too much. That's what I remember thinking that. I was like, there's no way that they're gonna put him because that would just be a clusterfuck. But I mean,
We
who are
don't
we to
know.
say?
There's
But
big surprises still.
I also thought it was interesting. Like, why does Venom automatically hate Spider Man? Because I mean, this is the first time he sees him, right? Supposedly.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah, that's the
it's
thing.
just like innate. Like that's his his arch nemesis, I guess.
Because I guess they were trying to say that like the symbiote, even in that end credit scene, that like the symbiotes are able to survive across multiverses, like multiple universes, and they've like been around like for
Years,
millions of
thousands of
years and shit.
years.
So it's like a lot of people were saying like, hey, like what if this is the same symbiote that has fought Spider-Man already in Spider-Man 3, and that's why he has like this stigma towards Spider-Man. Like, hey, like the
Oh.
last time I saw that guy, he like tried to kill me or something.
He's bad news. I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That
So
makes sense.
that's what they're speculating, but again, if you're trying to have a proper Eddie Brock, like he was kind of more of like in line of like he worked with Peter and like they were rivals like that, and like he has a certain reasons to hate Peter. So like when he gets the suit, both the suit and Eddie hate him. So they've always been at odds because of that. But I don't know. This is different Venom
Yeah.
already.
I
So
mean, I think it was already kind of a letdown that Spider Man and Venom didn't like partner up to fight Carnage because that's like a big
yeah,
deal. So that was already
spoilers
kind
for
of,
Venom too.
I mean, come on. But yeah, I feel like that was already kind of like a big letdown for the
Yeah.
fans.
Because that's
But
why they team up, I think, in the comics. Like they're because Carnage is too much for either
yeah,
of them all on by
yeah.
themselves. So it's like, I don't know.
But I don't know,
We'll
guys. We're
see.
just gonna have to wait and see.
We'll see, guys.
Fucking hell.
Thank you so much for everybody who joined. It was our first episode back from our what kind of seems like a routine hiatus, but
Yeah.
hopefully nothing prevents us from coming back. And we're gonna be doing this weekly again. We decided to do this podcast live like we used to, but again, moving forward, I think we're gonna try to do like the podcast kind of just pre-recorded and would still have like a live video for you guys. So make sure to stay up to date with our like Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff. We're going to be updating you guys there, like when we're going to be going live and putting up videos and all that stuff. And next week, hopefully, we can continue this whole Spider-Man marathon type of thing. We're kind of getting ready for No Way Home, and we'll talk about Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Andrew Garfield and stuff like that. So hopefully, you guys look forward to that.
Yep. And then we're gonna probably have a Matrix one too because that's the next.
Yeah, I'm very interested in revisiting those too.
Yeah, me too. I seen
So
them semi recently, but I still want to rewatch them again
yeah,
for sure.
me too. I haven't seen them recently though, but like yeah, I want to revisit them too. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel, guys. There's gonna be a lot. Again, if you guys didn't watch that live haul that I did, there's a lot of digital download codes that I put up for grabs. So make sure to watch that and comment down below which one you guys want. I'm gonna be picking out winners the next few days. So yeah, guys.
Oh, Mo went in there at the last minute.
I know it's a stay silent, but this was a great listen to while editing. There it
Oh,
is, man.
nice.
Mo, quick shout out to Mo and his channel. He has can I say this? Well, yeah, you re-announced it. He has an
Can I
original
say
song
this?
coming out, which I love. I was kind of like his guinea pig, which I am kind of a lot of the times, but it's probably one of my favorite things that he's ever done. So Audrey, I know that you
Is
listen
it
to
on
too.
Spotify already? Or
Soon, right, Mo? If you can kind of attest to that. Yeah,
because I
but
know
stay
he is
tuned.
like on Spotify.
Yeah, he's
So
on Spotify, Apple Music, but he has something coming up. He's been working for a long time, and I'm very excited for it. So stay. If you guys enjoy music and my recommendations, highly
hell
recommend to
yeah,
go check out Mo and his stuff. So,
nice.
but yeah, guys, thank you guys again, everybody who joined in, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe. Take care, guys.
Don't forget
Wait,
to like and subscribe.
yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, follow us on all our social media pages. All that stuff is linked down below. But yeah, until next time, guys, we'll see you at the movies.